All right, let's have a look here at these noun suffixes of or, in, and ist. And when you add these to a word, it always changes that word to a noun, but not just any noun. These are all types of people. So these are all people when you add these to words most of the time. So let's have a look specifically at some of these. So again, these are all the same meaning, and it is a person who, whatever. For example, here are 4 words you can probably figure out simply from the base or root. So an attacker is a person who attacks. A prisoner is a person who is in prison. An Asian is a person who is from Asia. An artist is a person who does art. So it's pretty simple. These are all people. Now there are a few words you might not know, so we'll just go by them a few at a time. And there's only about maybe 7 or 8 words I think we'll need to talk about this week specifically. So we'll do historian first. The historian is a person who studies or writes history. And there are 2 types of guardian, and one of them you probably know, which is a person who guards or protects something is a guardian. But guardian, and the other form of guardian, a guardian is a person responsible for a child if the parents cannot be responsible. So, for example, if there was some kind of tragic thing where a child had their parents who passed away, and maybe their grandparents or someone would be in charge of that child then, they are the child's guardian. Or maybe if an aunt or uncle had to take charge of a child because the parents couldn't do it, the aunt and uncle would be the guardian of the child. So a little bit of a separate meaning for guardian. Now the rest of the words I want to cover are all ist words, and a specialist is simply another word for an expert in a certain area. So you could be a language specialist, or maybe a doctor could be a heart specialist. That would be their area of specialty. But really it's just an expert. Now for vocalist, the word vocal, a root word, means voice. So a vocalist is simply another word for a singer. So a person who uses their voice as their instrument is a vocalist or a singer. And a finalist is a person who has reached the final part of a competition. That's the connection to final. And let's just do 2 more. So terrorist, our root word is terror. So it's a person who commits terror, but you might not know what terror is, so let's define that too. And we'll define terror as violence against innocent people. So terrorists sometimes use guns or bombs, and they hurt innocent people. They are terrorists. It's a very bad thing. And just one more, and this is our only ER word, but admirer, the root word is admire. And I know people think about secret admirer, but the meaning is more than that. So to admire something is to like, respect, or appreciate someone or something. So of course you have secret admirers who have a crush on someone secretly, but you could also admire your parents because you respect them and you appreciate them. Or it doesn't have to be a person, it could be a thing. So you could be an admirer of painting and you like going to museums and you admire paintings there. So it's a little bit bigger than what most people initially think. And I just wanted to do one more word, I think, on the list, which is civilian. And the root word here is civil, which you may have heard of before in the word civilization. And civilization is, and honestly this is hard to come up with a simple definition for younger students, but we'll call it a group of people organized and working together to improve their lives or their cultures. If you study ancient civilizations, you'll find the first would be like Egyptian civilization or Greek civilization or Sumerian civilization. The first people who kind of organize themselves together and they're creating art and they're making their lives better and everyone around them. That's a civilization. The word civil, though, is a little bit, civilian is a little bit more simple. It's similar to a citizen, but it really means anyone, any ordinary citizen who is not in the police or the military, like the army or the Air Force or the Navy. Those are civilians. So that's the last word for this list. And again, we have all of these are people with ERORIAN and IST. And I'll put some links to other lists from this book, but thank you for watching and goodbye.